Equatorial Guinea is a small but historically rich country located on the west coast of Central Africa. It consists of a mainland region, Rio Muni, and several islands, the largest being Bioko, where the capital Malabo is situated. Its history has been shaped by indigenous cultures, European colonization, and post-independence struggles. Ancient and pre-colonial history, early inhabitants. Pygmy tribes were the earliest known inhabitants of mainland Rio Muni before being displaced by Bantu-speaking groups around 2000s BCE. On Bioko Island, the Bubi people, likely of Cameroonian origin, settled centuries ago. The island of Annobon was uninhabited until Portuguese settlers brought enslaved people there. Kingdoms and local societies. The mainland region was home to various Fang ethnic groups who developed small chiefdoms and trade networks. These societies had complex social structures based on kinship, agriculture, and trade with neighboring groups. European contact and colonization, 1472-1968. Portuguese exploration, 1472-1778. The Portuguese were the first Europeans to explore the islands of Bioko and Annobon in 1472. They later established slave trade posts and introduced Christianity. In 1778, Portugal ceded the territory to Spain in exchange for South American lands through the Treaty of El Pardo. Spanish rule and British influence, 1778-1844. Spain initially showed little interest in Equatorial Guinea, lacking the resources to establish strong control. From 1827-1843, Britain temporarily controlled Bioko, using it as an anti-slavery naval base in Malabo, then called Port Clarence. Spain officially took over in 1844, marking the beginning of direct colonial rule. Spanish colonial administration, 1844-1968. Spain initially governed from nearby Spanish territories like the Philippines, but later focused on plantation agriculture. Bioko Island became a major center for cocoa and coffee plantations, worked by Bubi laborers and Nigerian contract workers. In the mainland, Spanish control remained weak due to Fang resistance. In 1926, Spain merged Bioko and Rio Muni into a single colony, Spanish Guinea. Rise of nationalism, 1940s-1968. After World War II, pressure for African decolonization grew. In the 1950s, Spain introduced limited self-governance, but repression of nationalist movements continued. The Movimiento Nacional de Liberación de Guinea Equatorial, MONALIGE, was founded to demand independence. In 1963, Spain granted internal autonomy, and in 1968, Equatorial Guinea gained full independence. Independence and post-colonial dictatorship. 1968, Francisco Macias Nguema's brutal rule, 1968-1979. Francisco Macias Nguema became the country's first president. He quickly established a one-party dictatorship, suppressing opposition. His rule was marked by brutal repression. An estimated one-third of the population fled or was killed. Economic collapse due to mismanagement. Anti-intellectual policies. Closing schools and banning Western medicine. In 1979, Macias was overthrown and executed by his nephew, Teodoro Obiang Nguema Masogo. Obiang's long rule and oil boom, 1979 present. Obiang's takeover and political control. Teodoro Obiang took power in a coup d'etat and has ruled since. Initially, his rule was seen as an improvement, but authoritarianism, human rights abuses, and corruption persisted. Oil discovery and economic transformation. In 1995, large offshore oil reserves were discovered, making Equatorial Guinea one of Africa's wealthiest countries per capita. However, wealth remained concentrated among the elite, while most citizens remained in poverty. Corruption scandals exposed how government officials, including Obiang's son, Teodorin, misused public funds for luxury lifestyles. Recent political developments. Obiang has won every election since 1979, often with over 90% of the vote. His son, Teodorin, is being groomed to take over, despite international legal cases against him for corruption. Opposition parties face harsh repression, and media freedom is restricted. Challenges and future prospects. Challenges: political repression, no real democracy or press freedom. Corruption, public funds are often embezzled by government officials. Poverty, despite oil wealth, most citizens lack basic services, education, and healthcare. Overdependence on oil, the economy risks collapse if oil reserves run out. Opportunities: economic diversification, developing agriculture, tourism, and infrastructure could reduce reliance on oil. Youth engagement, a growing young population could push for change. International relations, stronger ties with Africa and global institutions could encourage reform. Conclusion: Equatorial Guinea's history is a journey from pre-colonial chiefdoms to Spanish colonization, brutal dictatorship, and an oil-rich yet politically repressive regime. Despite its vast natural wealth, inequality, corruption, and authoritarian rule continue to hinder progress. The future of the country depends on political reforms, economic diversification, and ending elite corruption to ensure prosperity for all citizens. Kindly share this post if you find value in it. Thanks for your support. You can watch this program on YouTube. In case you want to, feel free to reach out to me. If you need advice on your plans and ideas and how to work on your gift and purpose, drop me a message here or email me at sopiansofgod@gmail.com, and we'll arrange a call. Will you like to write a book, share your story, ideas, or knowledge in a book? Now it's easier than ever. In 3 weeks, your book will be written and published. Send a message to bookmindsgmail.com. Get books on Amazon. Amazon Books, check out our website. Wordflix X Publishers, like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.